Hey guys, Coach Gaglione here, GaglioneStrength.com. This is our actually first Skype interview for our Strong Women series. So we got one of my friends, Kristen, here. Say hello, Kristen.
Hey.
So I think we first met at the Cortland Charity Deadlift. Was that the first time that we met?
No, we actually met at
West Side Pro.
yeah.
It's
And you
like,
had no idea who I
dude,
was.
who is this girl with Kim Walford? Who is that? Who is this chick? That was fun. That was a fun time.
Yeah, so I think the deadlift charity event.
That was afterwards.
Mhm.
You were very helpful with that, by the way.
You're welcome.
You were a pro, so awesome. So just tell people watching a little about who you are and a little bit about yourself and what you got going on right now.
Well, so right now I work online. I do programming for a company. It's called the Strength Guys. Just online coaching. I have my master's in exercise science. I'm also a certified strength and conditioning coach. Kind of how I got into powerlifting was not on purpose. When I was going to school for my undergrad, there was like an exercise science human performance lab. And I had told my professor that I wanted to get into it. And so he's like, yeah, that's fine, but can't lift like a girl. I was like, okay, yeah, whatever that means.
Okay.
And, so like one of the studies that we were working on, they had like a training protocol in it, like squat, bench, deadlift. And so he's like, all right, well, now you got to lift, no elliptical. And the first time that I squatted my max, now it probably wasn't to depth, horrible form, and in running shoes, but it was 205, and everyone was like really excited. So I was like, oh, maybe I'm kind of strong. I don't know.
Those are so strong.
Yeah.
All right, that's pretty awesome. So you kind of just got thrown into it, and then was there anything that kind of like what kind of like made it from like just training the lifts to like I actually maybe want to do a competition?
Well, after kind of training and, learning a little bit about form and depth and everything, I was kind of interested for a while, but it probably took me about a year to actually decide to sign up for a meet. And there's a few beforehand, but I was like, oh, I'm going to do it, I'll do it. And then, I freaked out last minute and, never, did it. So, there was a meet. It was USAPL Northeast Iron Beast in Latham, New York. And I think I had expressed interest in, doing it, but it was one of those things, I don't know, probably would have backed out because I would have freaked out last minute. So my mother signed me up.
Oh, nice.
so at that point, she's like, well, you can't, I already paid for it.
It's already paid for.
Yeah. And, I did it, finally. It was, the most nerve-wracking thing ever. There's probably me, 4 other girls, if that. And I remember one of the women who was sitting at the desk, and I went to go put in my 3rd bench attempt, and she told me no.
Was too heavy or just or
no? She's like, it's too easy. She's
you gotta do more, yeah.
Yeah, because I was so nervous. I was
I'll just do this. Yeah.
That they were like, you need to
yeah, you gotta. This is a competition, not just a workout. Yeah.
Yeah, and so she told me no, and she's like, I'm not allowing you to do anything less than I think it was 165 or something. I can't remember, but so I was like, all right, fine, I'll just do that, and I got it. So I ended up going 9 for 9 for that meet, and after that, I think I really caught the bug. Once you do your first meet, it really took a lot of the anxiety off that I wasn't really nervous about, being a first time. So.
What do you think was kind of holding you back? Just the unknown, just how you weren't sure how you're gonna feel doing it, or?
Yeah, I think just competing in general can be nerve-wracking. You don't know what to expect. You want to do well. You don't want to do horrible your first meet. So
Right.
I think that's kind of why I went really conservative.
Yeah.
But I think just getting your foot in the door and just being like, you know what, I'm going to do this meet, or I'm going to compete, just to do it. And once you kind of get that out of the way, it's easy. So.
Was there any maybe that was it, or maybe there's something else? What kind of made you say all right, well, I competed now, and I want to take it to the next level. I know you did, like like Raw Nationals and things like that. Like, what like made you want to like really take it to the next level and compete at like a higher level?
Um, well, at the time, I've been injured for a while, so actually my last competition was Raw Nationals 2014. And they're really, I don't even think they had a qualifying
You
total.
can just show up.
Yeah, and so it was just, I was looking around, what kind of meets I've qualified, can I do it? And so I was kind of looking at the past results of, the like Raw Nationals 2013, and looking at numbers. I was like, oh, well, I'm at least competitive,
Right.
that I can actually do well. So, and like I said, I got that first meet out of the way. So, signing up for a big meet didn't really freak me out, as it probably would have if, I had never done one before.
Sure.
So, yeah, I competed and I ended up, we placed, I compete as a 63, so that's 138 pounds, and I placed third. I placed third, I missed second by 2.2 kilos.
Oh.
And that was like, I didn't have a coach, I didn't really know. I was still, I just was like going there to compete and try to do well. So yeah, I missed that, and then, Jen Thompson placed first.
Yeah, it's not. It's whatever. Whatever. It's like yeah, It's like that's like one spot taken on the podium,
Yeah.
like
So
Cool. So yeah, you talked about being injured a bit. I know, like you've been kind of struggling with some low back things and stuff. But I always see you kind of like you come back. You always come back. You're always back at it. I always see you like, no matter which I think is really it's something I admire about you, that you never like quit, even though that you've struggled. So what's like kind of been something that's allowed you to kind of keep pushing forward even with the setbacks?
yeah, so I was injured. Actually, it was after nationals. I was supposed to compete at the Arnold, and I ended up having to pull out because I couldn't lift. I mean, I could barely even squat the bar. It was bad. So I, the first couple of times, I would start, and I did it the dumb way. I started feeling better, and as soon as I was like, okay, my back doesn't hurt, I would go right back into it and try and lift like, whatever I was lifting before, and then, set me back. So after, a few mistakes and some learning experiences, I was like, okay, I need to take this time off, and, once I start training again, work my way up, and it was really hard. I literally, at one point, they actually thought that I had a fractured spine, so I didn't lift or work out for an entire month. And then I got cleared. It was like, it's okay, it's not a fracture. So it ended up, I don't even really know. It's just like some spinal instability. I don't, breathing and not using my abs efficiently. So that was kind of a lot of like rehab. Has been actually just like breathing exercises. But yeah, so anyway, getting back into it, and my lifts aren't the same. I'm weaker than I was, and it was mentally hard, and there are definitely times where I was just like, my back hurts, I'm done, I'm over this, but it was just like that desire to continue. I didn't want to give up just yet. So, I took some time off to do what I had to do, went to the gym and squatting the bar, and I was like, I don't care what other people think. Like, I know what I'm capable of. I know I have to be smart about it. And yeah, that's kind of how I came back. The only drawback was back in March, I did the deadlift challenge that you were there for.
I was cheering you on.
You did.
I was kind of in the back of my head. I was kind of like, I'm like crossing my fingers. I'm like, hoping that. But yeah, so you could finish the story anyway. But
so I had plans to compete back in April, and then in March I did a AMRAP deadlift challenge, which I did really well.
315 for 23.
Yeah.
Not too. I think it was the best out of the whole day.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't do bad. It just kind of back up the next day. So
it was cool for the moment, of course, but yeah, it
it,
sucks to
it worked because it did look cool, and I got some pretty cool videos out of it.
That's all that matters, right? You gotta like look.
Um, so yeah, so after that, took some time off again, kind of back at square one, and then just relatively within the past, I don't know, was it like 2 months, 2.5 months maybe, where I was like, okay, you know what, I'm ready. I feel better. I'm ready to compete again. So my plans at the moment are to compete in December.
Where and when? Because I want to. Is it gonna be? Are you? Is it gonna be back kind of close to you or back home?
So
or?
it's actually, I live in Charlotte now.
She's gonna be down. Okay.
So it's actually the American Open in Orlando, and I haven't really told anyone yet. So actually, like
I don't know when this is gonna be released, but it might be. But that's very cool. So well, I'll definitely be cheering you on for sure. So I'm pumped to see how you do. I know you've been training's been going well. Did you hit a bench PR recently or?
Yeah, so I just hit 205 for doubles.
That's awesome. Congrats
which
on that.
That is, well, my previous training max was 205. 205.
That's great. So one thing that I always say, I think that's a great point. A lot of people kind of think about like what they used to be able to do when they kind of come back from an injury, and I think what you said, like I don't care about just squatting the bar, and I think that's hard for a lot of people to kind of like accept. So I think what I always tell my guys and my girls is you want to focus on progress, not perfection. If you're a little bit better than last workout, even if it's not like an all-time best, and you're a little bit better than last week, you keep building on that, start to build some momentum, and that's huge. It can be very hard mentally, but I think if you kind of focus on that, you're always going to kind of be better like off in the long run. And the other thing I wanted to ask you too, like with the whole going back to the Arnold thing, I know it maybe hindsight's 2020, but would you do that again, or what advice would you tell people? Because the reason I ask that is a lot of people nowadays with like Instagram and things like that, they kind of get pulled like there's like the competition, and then there's like is it going to look cool in the video? You get what I'm saying? So what kind of advice can you kind of give to young people that are maybe getting started and like as far as taking their training seriously and like just making sure that they're doing the right things by their bodies, not just like kind of worried about like if it looks cool or something like that.
Yeah, so my advice would be to be smart. There's with the amount of time that I've taken off, there's been a lot of people who have been able to kind of catch up over the past 2 years.
That's a good point. Yeah,
I think especially in lifting and powerlifting, it's more about longevity. There's a lot of one and done or one hit wonders.
Yeah.
Like they get injured and then they just don't come back. So if you want to be in this sport and be competitive for a while, it's really, instead of trying to go against other people, it's about going against yourself. And trying to be your best. Don't worry about how other people place, especially if you're just starting to get into it. Just be smart. Listen to your coach. Do the programming. Do what it says and don't do more. More is not always better, and it can end up,
love it.
Deadlifting for 23. I mean, probably not the smartest thing ever to do when you're 1 month out from a meet. Might look cool, but is it worth it? And is the possibility that not competing, is that worth it for a YouTuber?
Yeah. I think it comes down to priorities too and like timing. So obviously like maybe like nothing wrong with doing like a fun thing like that, but maybe like if you're like you said, if you're a month out from the meet, maybe it's not like the best idea to kind of do something like that. Or like I have sometimes whether I have young kids or whatever, they're like for a couple weeks out from the meet, like probably shouldn't be going out drinking and doing stuff like that. Where it doesn't necessarily just need to be lifting, but if the goal is important to you, why not go all in? Why not go 100%? Do everything in your power to make sure that you're kind of doing the right thing. So, very cool. All right, so I love it. So, so the other thing, I know you said you were like really super nervous about doing your first meet, and then once you kind of did your first one, you're like, I'm kind of hooked. So if someone was kind of like on the fence of starting, like, a lot of girls maybe are afraid they're going to get too big or whatever, they're afraid they might get hurt, or there's a lot of different excuses, a lot of different reasons, but what would you tell someone that's kind of on the fence about getting started with lifting or competing? What would you tell them?
Uh, if they're interested and they're still up and down about it, I would have them reach out to someone, whether it's like for potential coaching, or another lifter,
Yeah.
And just ask them what their experience is, how they got into it, what their first meet was like, what to expect. Um, just I would definitely say to reach out to someone. So.
Yeah, I always say don't be afraid to ask for help. I think a lot of people kind of are afraid of looking stupid or whatever. Or they just maybe just scared of the unknown. And I think the most important thing is to just get started. Just take that first step. And if you need some support, there's it's a great community. I think you can attest to it. I mean, whether no matter what federation or whatever, it doesn't really matter. I mean, we're all trying to do the same thing. And I think.
At the end of the day, I mean, I think everyone's really cool. Everyone has the same goals in mind, whatever federation you decide to choose. Like, and that might be another thing is if you're unsure, is to talk to people in
Right.
whatever federation it is that you're interested in, and be like, is this something that I want to do? Is this the right federation for me?
Awesome. Well, we're gonna stop the recording a little bit, but I want you to don't to stay on like after. But thank you for coming on. It was great chatting with you. It's been a while since I've seen you and talked, so that was awesome too. So just before we kind of close out, is there any place people can kind of find you if they want to follow what you're doing or anything like that?
Yeah. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, I usually try and post a lot of like my training videos. It's Chris D, KRIIS_D. Don't ask me, I don't know how I got it.
Awesome. So definitely give Kristen a follow. Really appreciate you coming on the call today. If this video helped you, or if this maybe this could help someone else, please share it. Please like. Show Kristen some love. Drop a comment below, and let's wish her luck in her upcoming competition. She's really excited to see her back on the platform. So
I'm excited. Thank you.
Awesome.